We are live.
Hi. Good evening, everyone who has joined. A very warm welcome to
We
this.
are live.
A very warm welcome to this exciting GitHub session, which is a part of our month-long hybrid hackathon, Hello World Hacks, organized by GDG On Campus, RCCIT, and RCTechs. I am Adrita Chakraborty. I'm one of the lead organizers of Hello World Hacks, and today I will be hosting your evening. With this GitHub session. First of all, let me introduce the speaker. The speaker is already here with us. That is Shubhina Biswas. He is an intern at ISRO, a Smart India Hackathon winner 2024, MLH Hackathon winner, and also the core member of dev.com. So today he will be enlightening us with GitHub workflows and how we can work with it. So before you take up the stage, Shubhina, there are some things I need to mention. Very quickly. First of all, the registration of Hello World Hacks is ending on 20th April. So, if you haven't registered, go and register right now. The proposal submission deadline is also on 20. So, if you haven't submitted your proposal, go on and do that now. Now, why this session is really helpful that I would like to enlighten them. So basically, without GitHub, you cannot do anything when you are in the coding or development domain. Even when you will be submitting your projects, we will be reviewing your code on GitHub. So it is one of the most essential things that are needed. And that's why today we are keeping this session at this very early stage. This is our practically first session on GitHub, right? So without further ado, I think we can start. So Shubhina, the stage is all yours.
Hello everyone. Thank you, Adrita. Adrita did a great job of introducing me. And let's just cut to the chase and we'll get started with Git and GitHub. Mm, if you guys are seeing, you can comment in the YouTube comment, and I can read your comments as well from there. But right now, let's get started. So
Yeah,
the theme of our is my screen visible, right?
we will be. Yeah. Your screen is visible. We will be keeping track of the comments. So if you have any doubt, you can write it up there. Right.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So let's cut to the chase and understand why use Git and GitHub. So I have presented a slide. So at this moment, everyone might be just like, "What is Git and GitHub?" Right? Uh, Many of you might be in the first years or second years of your college journey and might not know what Git and GitHub is. So let's just take a step back and understand how Git came along and how GitHub came along. So before many of us even were born, there was a tool called SVN. SVN was a old school version control system. It had only a central repository, and you have to SSH into it and upload your code regularly into it. And then came Git. So many of you might know that Git was only built in 14 days by Linus Torvalds, and he did a great job. So let's just understand what the differences between the old school architecture and Git is. So the SVN model was centralized. So there was no copy of code in your local repository. So the code was only in a central repository structure. And by design, Git is very distributed. So you can have the Git repository in your system as well as in a central repository like GitLab or GitHub. With SVN, the offline work was impossible, right? Because there was only a central repository. So if the internet went down for some reason, you were screwed. You could not do anything. But Git is different. You can do your changes on your local system, even if you are on a train or in the mountain. And only when you need to push it, you need the internet connection. Branching and merging, which I will talk later also about, is an essential concept of version controlling, but using it with SVN was very complex and very hard. But Git makes it super easy. You just need a command. Also, the learning curve of Git, I would say, is very easy. In this session of on hour, you would get to know much about Git and how to do it and how to track your changes via Git. Apart from that, SVN was also slow, and Git is very fast because of the hashing and the core architecture it was built on. Now, we have all been there. New.txt, new final.txt, and many version of the same file. Git was the exact tool. It is solved to that solves this problem. So, let's say we open up a repository, right? Let's make a new directory called GitHub session. In this directory, I can create a file. Let's say I'm creating a file. Let's just open it first. Mm, yeah, just a second. Yeah, I'm inside the folder, and I can create any file here. Let's just say I'm creating a text document A. Right now, if I write anything into A, let's say it is some basic code, C code, print, int, mm, printf, hello world. So I have a very basic code here, right? And I can just save it. It is saved automatically. Okay. Now let's say I need to change something. Maybe I need to add another print statement. I can do that by copying and pasting. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I can do this by copying and pasting. But you can say that sometimes we make mistakes as we are humans. But what if while adding the changes, I made some mistake? What to do then? How to get back the previous file? Is it possible in the current architecture? It is not, right? To solve that, Git was born. Let's understand how Git does it with a simple example. We can create or initialize Git in this current repository, and you can see that Git is initialized. And right now, if we type Git status, you can say untracked files. So Git is saying I have no idea what this a.txt is. Please tell me who it is. So to do that, we have to tell Git to track it. So we have to tell Git that you need to track this file and monitor its changes over time. How to do that? We can do that via this command git add a.txt. So whenever we type it, it is telling Git that, hey, I have a file called a.txt. Can you please track it? And whenever I do this, Git is tracking it after that point of time. And now if we do that Git status, you can see that changes to be committed. So it is not saying that untracked file. It is now saying changes to be committed. So Git now has idea of this file, but we have not committed to it yet. So what is commit? Commit is also a uh, very crucial part of the Git ecosystem. So whenever you make a commit, you have that point in time saved in the Git history. So right now, if I make any changes like this would be added to the file. But if I do, uh, so let's say we have the hello world and hello world 2, and we do a commit right now. So git commit him add commit. Yeah. So if you do the commit right now, so Git has this point in file. So this file at this point in time saved in the Git history. We can now make any changes, any mistakes. We can also close the file, so there is no control Z. How we will now get back the original file? To do that, we have the git command called git stash. So you can see, sorry, it is saved in the file itself. We have to open VS Code. Just a second. Hmm. Yeah. Where did it go? Yeah, I think I missed something up. Let's just make do it once again. So you can see we have this two print statement, printf and printf hello world. Right now, if I make a commit, add a.txt, we are now saving the
Can
version
you
of the file.
increase the text size? I think it will be
Oh
easier
yeah,
for
yeah,
you.
just yeah. It is visible now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm, not this. Where did it go? Yeah. So so I have made one commit in this Git repository, and right now I can make any more changes, and you can see whatever changes I'm making, it is appearing under the changes. We can do it via the terminal as well. To do it via the terminal, we can type git status again. So it's a you can see that Git has tracked this file, and it is saying that I have modified a.txt, but I have not committed to it. So I can do this thing. So discard changes, and the file would go to the previous stage in the Git history. So this is the superpower of it. This is not only for the latest change. You can do it with thousands of changes or millions of changes if you need. We would come back to it later also, but let's progress with the other thing first. Yeah. So this is the Git workflow I was explaining. So the first step in the Git workflow is the git init command that I showed. So the git init command initialize your Git repository and Git in your file system. So there is a hidden .git folder that is not visible in the file explorer or the VS Code, but you can go to it if you want. So vi.git. Yeah. So this is the .git directory. It is hidden and you should not be playing with this, but let me just show you what it does. So it has various files, head, config, description, index. So this is the internal files that Git uses to keep track of your changes. After initializing, we can clone a remote repository, or so either we can init a repository in our local, or we can clone a already very popular repositories from our remote. So let's just say I go to my GitHub and pick any project. So this is public. We can pick this. Hmm, let's just copy this or copy this from here. So you might need this repository in your local. Let's say you are working on some project, on a popular project, and you need its source code, right? So one way to do this is downloading the zip, and another way is doing it via Git. So which is more, I think, more configurable and more good in general. Good, it is a good practice to clone the repository via Git. So let's just clone it. So let's type git clone and put our repository link here. So whenever I type enter, you can see we are cloning into this repository, and we have successfully cloned this website in our local. So if we do cd, we can go to this repository. Yeah, you can see I'm inside the repository now. Uh, you can see all the project structure. This is a React app. Let's say I now need to make a change, and this is my project. I need to make a change. Let's say, what do I change? Let's go to a file, this page.tsx. Yeah, it is linting error. Let me just set up the project first. Just, anyways, I think it is technical now. So you can clone any remote repository with the git clone command. Let me just show you with a smaller thing. Maybe this one. This is a small thing. So you just copy it, put it into a terminal, and do git clone and the repository link. Just a second. I have already this folder. Yeah, you can see the project is successfully cloned in our local system, and from there I can yeah, and from there I can do anything. So this is a basic bash rc file, and I can add anything. Like, let's just add an alias for git. You don't have the whatever thought I am writing. So this is a just a basic file. Just look at how I'm doing it. So you might do any change, and the change would be displayed here. So it is saying that I added one line in line 17, and I can just commit it. So let's say add another alias, and I can just commit it. So right now, whenever I have committed, the changes is in my local directory or my local system. The changes won't be reflected here right now. You can see the last committed 2 days ago. The changes are only in my local system, local directory right now. But if I need to sync it, I can either do it via this thing in VS Code, or I can do another thing: git push origin main or master. So, what is this Git push thing? So, I am telling Git to push it to a remote repository, right? So, Git push which remote repository? Origin master. So, whenever we are cloning a thing, the link to this is stored in this origin. So, origin is an object, and the link to link that link to a remote repository is stored in the origin. And in the origin, we are wanting to push our changes in the master branch. So this is the master branch. As the original file had the master branch, we are pushing into the master branch. And if we type that, just a second, cd, yeah, we need to get into the directory first, then git push origin master. And you can see we have written these files into the remote. And if we hit refresh in the remote repository, we can see the changes were made 1 minute ago. So right now. So this is the basic usage of Git or the basic workflow. So you now know Git init, Git clone, Git add, also Git commit, which I just showed. Now let's talk about Git branching. Or let's talk about branching later. Let's just focus on GitHub first, and we'll come back to branching, because GitHub is the main thing for branching and or for collaborating. And you use the branching features when you are collaborating, right? So let's go to a famous project first. So let's get to Express.js, which is a famous open source project, and this is the GitHub of Express.js. You can see there are many things, right? So this is the repository, or this is the org. This is the repository Express.js, and you can see many tabs here. As you grow, you have to understand every of these things, what it does and what the uses are. You can see this repo, right? So you can see how many commits were made in this repository, how to clone it, how to download the zip. You can see code spaces, you can see copilot, you can also see the about section of this project, and also the readme code of conduct, if there are licenses, the security, all these things. Now let's understand this one by one. So this is the about section, right? So every good repository should have a about section and a link mentioned to it. If we go to the original thing of GitHub, so homepage of GitHub, we can see that there are some repositories. You can see your feed, right? So if we go to any popular recommended repository, you can see this. So this is the about of the description of the project. So it tells us what the project is basically. So this is the repo of async API conference website. So it says it is a website for the async API online conference. So it is a very brief introduction about the project. After that, you may also have a link of the project. Also, there are some tags, right? You can see you use hashtags on Twitter, Instagram. It is quite similar to that. It is for easily identifying or finding the project. You can also see some basic info about the repository. These are automatically added by GitHub. So this has 6.66.8K stars. So 1.7 thousand people are watching this page currently. This has 18.3K forks. We'll get to that what forks are later. We also have releases, sponsorship, who the contributors are, what languages were used. This is the basic layout of this project. You can all identify by this sidebar. Now, let's go to the README section. So every good project, so your hackathon project as well, should have a good README structure, right? So which basically says what the thing is. So you can know about ExpressJS here. So ExpressJS, what is ExpressJS? Fast, unopinionated, minimalist web framework for Node.js. You can easily understand that. So your README should be like this as well, small but very compact and very to the point. You can also see some code snippets, how to run that and how to use this. As this is a framework, you use it inside JavaScript. So they have given a small JavaScript snippet. Also, there are the installation step. You can install it via the npm package manager. You can see the features. If there are docs, if you have docs or YouTube video links of your project, you can also include it here as well. Also, there is quick start, how to get started with the project very quickly. Also, the philosophy, why this project was built, why, what are the creators thinking, and stuff like that. Now, now that we know what the README section and the About section is, let's jump to issues. So issues are the most important thing when collaborating on a project, right? So if you are collaborating on a project, be sure to look at the issues and just see what the issues are and if you can solve them. So if you can solve them, you just go to into a issue, you check out what the issue is. You can write that I want to contribute this to this project, and you have to there are some contribution guidelines on many projects. As this is a express.js project, you should not write anything without any regards, right? As this is a live project. So as you would be working on hackathons, so there are in general 4 or 5 people. So you can use a simple template structure. So let's say this is my project. Let's go to a popular project. Yeah. So you can see this is my project and it has multiple issues, right? So there is a bug. So there are incorrect indentation and lack of decorative elements in this what is this file, markdown file. So this person, who is this person? Priyam Jain. So Priyam Jain is suggesting this issue. So he is saying that there is a problem in my repository and he wants to solve it or someone should solve it. So what did he do? He created a issue in my repository and attached some screenshot. He also said what the problems are, what the standards are, and the other things. And now I am the project maintainer of this project. If I like his issue and think this is a issue that is worth solving, I have to keep this issue and assign it to someone. So right now I assigned it to myself. So I would work on this issue. So this also makes the project very transparent. So if we go and find the assignees, uh, yeah. So we can see how many projects were assigned to me. So let's say you are building a app, so building a web app, and there are multiple features, 6 or 7 features. You can add these features as an issue one by one. So there would be 7 issues, and you can assign one of those issues to each of the 4 team members. So each team member has 1 or 2 issues to work on, and whenever they are done, they open a pull request. So what is a pull request and how to make one, right? So first of all, every of the person should have this repo inside their local systems. So as I showed, let's just clone this project. Git clone. I'm just cloning my own project. Let's go into the project and open the VS Code. Yeah. So there was a issue that was suggested, which was incorrect indentation and lack of decorative elements in the code conduct.md. So let us just find where is the code conduct here. So it should be there, code of conduct.md. So .md is the markdown formats. It is basically a text file um, that is web friendly and very easily parsable by web viewers. You can see this README file. It has various styles, right? So these styles are given by the .md format, and whenever you put a .md in front of README or code of conduct, GitHub automatically puts it into this view right here. So we have to change this code of conduct file. So we can see there are multiple indentation errors. There might be some indentation errors. Let's just check it. Uh, I don't see any major issues right now, but let's just say we find the issue and we add something to it. We are doing something to fix this. So maybe just add some stuff. Hmm, let's add a line. Hmm. Adding trash commits. Yeah. So let's just say we added this line and that is fixing our issue that was given by, yeah, that was given by PMJ. So let's say we are trying to solve this issue. So you can see that we have solved this issue right now by adding this line. So right now what to do and how to track our changes. So as we have fixed this, the issue number 93, right? We have fixing the issue number 93. For good practice, let's just create another branch. So what is a branch? So branch, I don't know if you can see the branch right now. Let's just open this thing. I think, yeah, yeah, the graph is visible now. So through the graph, you would have a much better understanding of what the branches are. Yeah, you can see here, right? Yeah, so this is the main branch we are on. So all the main changes we are having are saved in the master branch. And whenever someone wants to make a change, they create another branch, name it something relevant or irrelevant. Ideally, you should name the branch something relevant so it is easily understandable. So they are creating another branch. They are doing their commits in their branch. So they are adding on top of their previous commits. And whenever they feel like that it is ready to merge and it is the issue is solved, they can create a pull request, which would be visible here in the pull request section. So whenever you have created a change, make a branch, then make a pull request, which would look something like this. So in the pull request, there is a text section explaining what were your changes, why you did them, and how did you follow the best practices and all. Depends on the organization, but ideally you should put as much information as possible there. And you can also see that Meet Jain wants to merge one commit to Hey Subinay master from his master branch. As this is my repo, so Hey Subinay that's Clippy is my repo, and he is contributing to my repo. He created a fork in his own GitHub. So he also has a copy of this in his GitHub. And whenever he is trying to merge, he can create a pull request from his repo to my repo. This way, I don't have to give access to my repo. But if you are in a hackathon, you can just add collaborators in your own repo, and you can contribute by that way. This way, you just have to create branches. You don't have to create forks. So these were the two concepts. So right now, as this is my own branch, as this is my own GitHub, I am just going to open a branch and then contribute. So let's just say right now we are here and we are trying to solve the issue. Git checkout. We are trying to solve the what did we are trying. Where did it go? Just a second. Yeah. Hmm. We are trying to solve the issue number 93. So let's just create a branch called issue hyphen 93. Right now, you can see I have added a change, but I have not committed. And I am opening a new branch. So doing this switches my current changes into a new branch. So I don't mess up my original branch, and all the changes I make are in the new branch. So right now, all my current changes would be visible in this new branch issue 93. And if I commit, let's say add new ban guideline. If I commit this change, if I commit this change, you can see we can see our branch here in the visualizer as well. So our master branch is behind our new branch because this has we have added a commit on top of our master branch, and we can contribute to our master branch right now. So how to do it? Let's just go into GitHub right now and open a new pull request. So new pull request, you can see, yeah. So right now the changes won't be visible. Why? Because we have made the changes in our local. We are yet to push our changes into the remote as well. So to push this, we need to type git push origin and the new branch name, which is issue 93. Yeah, you can say you can see that the new branch was created and it should be visible here right now. If you go to the code, you can see it would say issue 93 has recent processed 10 seconds ago. Whenever a new branch is created, GitHub just prompts you to let you know that a new branch was created. Do whatever you need to do with it. And we are gonna do what we are gonna do. We are going to make a pull request. So let's make a pull request. So the base branch is our master branch. So we are merging our latest changes into our master branch, right? So you can also see that GitHub gave us a little guideline on how to add these things. So and it also added a title for us, which was the title of our commit message. This is also good as well. You can, if your commits messages are expressive enough, you can just put that as a title as well. And we can also add a description. We are not going to add a description for right now for the sake of time. Let's just say added new guidelines. Yeah, and we can create a pull request. So if you go to the pull request tab again, we can see that the new ban guideline was added. It should be ban guideline, not ban guideline. Anyways, we can edit that as well, I guess. Yeah, if you need to check edit something, you can edit that as well. Yeah. and we can save this. Yeah. Right now, the pull request is created, and it is up to me, the maintainer, whether I have to check or I can assign someone else to check. So I can add a reviewer or assignee here. So I am assigning myself. So if you assign someone, they also get a so they also get a, email as well saying that a new issue was created and they have been assigned, right? So it works like a notification. Yeah. So right now, as I am assigned, it is my responsibility to check if the file changes were up to the mark and if they have any mistake, and then I can merge it. So right now I can see what files were changed and where they were changed. So I can see the diff as well. Uh, meeting में तो हाँ बाद में तो meeting में yeah yeah, where were we? Yeah, so we can say no, we can see the what changes were made and we can review these changes, and after the review is done we can merge the changes onto our main branch. As we can see, the merge pull request button is here, and we can just confirm the merge. Yeah. So whenever it gets merged, you can go to the code and you can see another commit was added. So whenever we merge a branch or merge a feature, so we can see the another commit was made onto there. So that was the main things of GitHub, and that was the main workflow of GitHub and how GitHub works for your use case. There are a lot of functionalities as well, which we would not go to right now because those are very complex and those are not so beginner friendly, right? But you can also check out these things. There are discussions are mostly for big projects which have a lot of contributors, so it works like kind of a chat room for the project. You have GitHub Actions, so you can configure GitHub Actions. So whenever a commit is made, you can run a CI/CD pipeline. So CI/CD pipelines are something. So let's say you have a React app, and you make some changes onto your React app, and whenever you merge into the main branch, it creates a build system. So you need to build your React app, right? So whenever you merge it into main, the build gets automatically done and it gets automatically deployed. You also have GitHub projects. GitHub projects kind of work like Notion. So you can see, I if I try to create a new project, you can see there are multiple templates here: bug tracker templates, product launch template. You can go with any of these if those fit your needs, or you can create a scratch from as well. So if I don't select anything, I get a scratch page and I can do anything. I can add templates, I can add assignees. I can also delete the whole thing and rebuild my own structure. I can do anything. Apart from that, we have wiki is also from for big projects. So if the projects have any documentation, you can go to their wiki page, and some projects host their documentation on GitHub itself. There is also the security tab. So GitHub has some apps, right? So if your projects let's say your projects is a JavaScript application that is running a Node.js backend. So there might be some npm functions you are using or npm packages you are using that has been deprecated, but you don't know because you are not checking it currently, right? So GitHub have some apps that automatically changes your package JSON, checks your package JSON, and lets you know if there are any packages that are deprecated and if you need to change them. So you can take the actions yourself. There is also insights. So insights lets you know how many people have visited your project, how many people have contributed, and it is the analytics of sorts for your GitHub repository. Also, there are settings. So the settings are many things like changing the repository name, setting the default branch, social preview. If you share a link, there would be a OG image or Open Graph image that would be visible if you set it through here. There is also other stuff you don't need to know about. Yeah, you can also delete your project from this change visibility or delete thing. Yeah, delete repository thing. If you need to, if you mess it up or you think it would be better from starting from scratch, you can do it from here as well. Yeah. Also, there are stars and frogs. So let's say you like a project very much. Let's just go to a project, GitHub. Yeah. Let's say you like this project very much by Dodo Payments and you want to contribute to it. How do you do it? You can do a fork of this repo. You can create the fork. Whenever you create a fork, a version of a whole copy of this repository gets under your own account, right? So you can see it has created as Hey Shubinai slash Dodo payment checkout demo under my own account. So if even if the original repository gets deleted, my copy would still be there. That is the benefit of open source and benefit of GitHub. And I can also contribute to this project as well. I can change the file structure or some files or add some features here, and I can contribute by creating a pull request. So if I click contribute after I have made some changes, it goes to the pull request of the original repo and I can contribute that way. Yeah, so that was the basic about GitHub and GitHub project structure, and this is the I also explained the basic merging and checkout things. You also know about pull request now, how to do code reviews, how to add a reviewer, how to merge your changes and stuff like that. Uh, yeah, so some more things are GitHub pages and GitHub projects. I also explained GitHub projects. Let's go through GitHub pages once. You can go to GitHub pages by going to settings and pages. So GitHub Pages is a very good thing for hosting your small applications. Let's say you have a small HTML page you want to host. You can host it directly from GitHub Pages rather than paying a VPS or paying a hosting service exorbitant amount for simple hosting a simple web app, right? You can host it through GitHub Pages. So for this, you just need to create a deployment. You can just click this button. Yeah, you can configure if it is an XJS app, if it is a HTML app. You can add a custom domain. If you own a domain, you can also add the app. It automatically gives you HTTPS as well. Yeah, so GitHub pages are very neat and very neat way to create a simple application very quickly. Apart from that, yeah, I also said how readmes are important for big projects or small projects as well. Readmes are the first page of your application, right? So having a good readme page is very important. You can see my readme page as well. So my this project was under GalScript Samara port, and this has a pretty decent readme page. Yeah, I have the file table of contents. I have screenshots. I have the features mentioned. I have the setup instructions. So whenever you are in a hackathon, I would suggest highly to create a good README page. So the whoever the judges are, if they need to run your project on their local system, they can do it easily, or they can go through the project very quickly. So if you are in using a unknown tech stack, so the judges might not know what you are building, right? So they would have no idea how to go through your code and how to understand your skill level. So having a good readme is really helpful. Yeah. Also, there is something called issue tags. You can see it here. Yeah. So you can see this issue has a tag called bug. It has a issue tag called enhancement. So for your personal use, you might not need it, but whenever you are opening up your repo for open source contribution, these things come in handy. So if it is a bug, so you can search very easily by labels. So by label, let me search the bugs. So I can go through, add the filter here, and only the bugs would be visible. So it is a pretty neat way to add tags or add filtering system to your repository. Also, yeah. So that is pretty much it for GitHub. Understanding GitHub. I have some resources as well to understand how Git works and how to learn Git. So this is a pretty neat one. You can go to gitschool.github.io, and it has a very cool interface for learning Git. Let it load first. Hmm. It's pretty slow. Yeah. So as you can see, it is a Git visualizer. So you can run commands in this web editor thing, and you can visualize how your Git tree might look. So other than creating a whole new project in your local and messing up your original projects, try it here first and learn it. So we can create a branch. So git checkout b new branch, and you can see it created a new branch. We can add commits. I think it does not add git commit. And, uh, we can create a commit as well. You can check out to the previous commit as well. So now the head is at master. You can do pretty much all you can do on your local git here as well. So it is a very great tool for learning and a very good learning it, right? Also, we have the docs of GitHub. So this is a very cool resource. Many people don't go through docs as much because of AI and stuff, but this is a great resource for learning all the features of GitHub and how things work. So you have code spaces, repositories, what you can do with repositories on GitHub, all here, all as a neat resource. So you can go to the docs of GitHub to understand GitHub and what you can do. Even after 2 or 3 years of coding, I don't know how many features GitHub have. So it is a cool resource to have and cool resource to check out what you are doing. And if you need help, you need any GitHub for topics, you can come here and check it out. Also, there is Learn Git branching. It is also a WebUI tool to learn Git. Yeah, it is called similar to the previous visualizing Git, but it is also neat. You can check it out as well. Mm. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today. I hope you learn Git and GitHub. So I think you can say it. You hated Git, but you hate it less a bit more. So I encourage everyone to use Git and GitHub in your projects because it is not only useful for sharing your code, it is also useful for keeping your tracks in changing, tracking your changes and doing other stuff. Also for collaborating. So I think it is a great tool to have and a great skills to run. Also, whenever you move to organization, if you do an internship, so learning Git and GitHub is very important. Many organization use GitLab as well, which is also similar to Git. So if you get good at one thing, you can rest assured that you would be good at the other thing as well.
Yeah. Thanks, Shubina, for today's session. It was amazing. Got to learn a lot, like the basics of GitHub. Hopefully, the first year and second years who have not like started hardcore coding, they can like get a good insight from this video. Uh, One more thing about Git and GitHub is like the more you code, the more you know about it. It's not that you can learn it from just a video. You will come
Yeah.
across problems, you will search it up, go through the documentation of GitHub, and like you will learn that way. So hopefully today's session was informative, and now you now know the basics of how to add, commit, and all of that, so that you can preliminary like push your code to GitHub, which is necessary for this hackathon. So thanks Shubhinar for that. So what you can do is you can submit your proposal. Again, I'm mentioning today 11:59 is 11:59 p.m. is the last uh, time up till which you can upload your proposal. 20th is the last date for registering. So if you haven't done it, go and do it right now. Right now, the format of the proposal is already given in the form. Join our Discord. The Discord link is already given in the chat. You can visit our website. It is everywhere. That is where you will be getting all the updates. So I think today's session was helpful for you guys. If you have any doubt, you can ask on the Discord channel. You can raise a ticket. There are mentors present. Everyone is there. The whole Hello World Hacks team is there to help you out. So that is all for today, I guess. Thanks, Shubhina, for joining in and providing your insights. Loved the session. Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rishi.